decided to be a rebel. No, I thought this would be more fun.
No, you look good. You look good in that color.
And welcome to an episode of Paranormal Versus. Your host Michael, and joined with Matt.
Hi everyone.
So today we are bringing an awesome show with you, and Kel is feeling a little under the weather, so she may be popping in and out to say hello and to ask some questions. And today we are bringing you a very awesome guest who I had the honor and privilege of meeting at Fear Fest in New Orleans this year. We had so much fun. She totally made that experience one of the best ones I can say I've ever had. So we are pleased to welcome Onae Shinn to the show.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Matt. And thank you, Cal, even though you're on mute.
Well, she says hey. And let's see, Yvonne is saying good evening, everyone. Facebook user saying hi, guys. And so, yes, guys, please, if you want us to recognize who you are and acknowledge you, please grant permission for StreamYard. Yes, New Orleans is on probably everyone's bucket list. So, Onae, why don't you give a little background of your show and what you do? So, because I'm sure there are some people who have been under a rock who just don't know who you are.
Okay. Yeah, I'm I'm a psychic medium and tarot card reader and a minister. Basically, I grew up with this as my whole life. Basically, I grew up in a family of readers and intuitives, and I just ended up having like the it's me, Paula Michael from Arizona. Oh, hi, hon. But yeah, so I grew up with this, but I ended up having the lion's share of the abilities. So I get the fortunate one to get to communicate with those that have crossed over, and other things out there. So, but yeah, and I became a minister because I love to help, and I became the head pastor of one of my own spiritual services, and also the head pastor of a church that I grew up in here in Tucson. I retired from all of that, though. I'm still a minister, but I mainly stick to just my tarot readings and the mediumship mostly. And I travel around doing paracons and other events like that. So but I live here in Arizona, love it because I'm a desert rat. So, but yeah, I don't know what more. Is that it, Michael? There's more to say. I don't know.
It sounded great to me.
Okay, good. Yeah. So I'm pretty good at what I do, I mean, and I'm not being conceited. It's just, they keep coming back for more. So apparently.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Paula is in Arizona, and she says not too far from you.
Yeah. So you're okay, because I'm in Tucson. Yep. And I love Tombstone. Do you go to Tombstone often? I love Tombstone. I haven't been.
I have not been yet.
30 years though.
Somewhere where I want to go as well one day.
Yeah, it's on my bucket list. I haven't made it there yet.
You'll have to. It's
Flagstaff
wonderful.
and the Grand Canyon is as much in uh, Arizona as I've been lately.
Yeah. Oh, and you know where? Because if you love Tombstone and Bisbee in Arizona, if you ever visit them, because you have to, if you visit one, you got to visit the other. And they're two totally different places, and feels. But there's this place called Virginia City, Nevada, and it's like a combination of both. And it's just a great, great place to be. I love it. But only in the warmer weather do I like it because it gets snow there. But yeah, no, you have to definitely come here, Michael. We'll have to go do some investigations and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Cal, I did a reading for you. I don't remember that, but I don't really remember my readings. That's the thing. It's like the energy and the information comes in and it just kind of goes out and I let it go. So, but I'm glad it was good.
No, and I was there and watching, and you were having quite a bit of activity at Fear Fest off and on. It's like I would always, like when we were talking about doing something, I'd go and your door was closed, and I was like, man, she's got another one. It always seemed to, like you're saying, always hit on the same thing. And oh, Kel says it was on your show that you did a reading.
Okay. All right. You know what? I think I kind of remember that one. Vaguely. But yeah. And the show I do readings on Tuesdays too. We're right here, don't I?
You do. And the ironic thing was when I started my show, I could have been the show before yours or where I am now. And I was like, I'm not doing dinner time. So and I was so glad because my shows tend to run long, and I would be like, you'd always be yelling at me, you cut into my show.
Yep. I know. I just kick you off. That's all. I'd be like, put a little voodoo on you or something. Just kidding. I don't do voodoo.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Remember, I was in New Orleans at the shops with you.
Yes. I have pictures from that too. Let's see which phone I have pictures.
No, but the funniest moment we had was both of us forgot you were filming, and we were dancing and twirled you, and everyone was freaking out on the camera, going,
"The room spinning." Yep. Yeah. Let's see if I can find any pictures of us together. We were before I went to West Virginia, right? Yeah, here it is.
Right.
All right. That's a really bad picture of me. That's at like 3:00 in the morning at Waffle House. So we won't show that one.
I'm like, even I haven't seen that one. But
you haven't? Oh God.
No.
You should have been there. Here we are.
Oh yeah. Wow.
And so the funniest thing about this was we spent like 2, 3, 4 hours there. And we started, Onae and I are walking on the street, and we finally, like at one point, go, are we ever leaving this street?
Right.
We realize, yeah, there you go.
We had fun. It was so fun. These events, you guys got to get out there to these events because it's just so much fun. You know, you get to meet everybody that you're like, yeah, you're Facebook friends with or something, but you all have this like one thing in common, you know, and it's like you only have like 24 to 48 hours, like really like be with everybody that is like, and like your like Facebook family in a sense, your paranormal Facebook family. And it's like, it's so exciting to meet the people that you're like continuously talking to.
She's saying that I did a show with Mikkel Clerk actually on Tuesday night, Yvonne, not Monday night, but thank you for the compliment. And I'm not sure the High Priest. Wow, I'm not sure I totally remember what that card is.
I see Kel's put a question in, and it was a question I was going to ask as well, actually.
Right, I went into trying to read.
Yeah. How do you channel your information, Onae? Does it come? Are you sort of clairaudient, clairvoyant, or?
Oh, you know what? That is like really interesting question because I don't have any one specific thing. It's just when you do this your whole life, all these different ways are just like they just appear and happen to you. You're constantly growing stronger with your abilities. And it depends upon the spirit that you're talking to or whatever, like whether it be your spirit guide or someone else's spirit guide you're communicating, connecting with. Or if I'm not working through like talking mediumship or just intuitive stuff with the psychic stuff, it's it can come in, you know, when I'm doing galleries and things, it comes in where they actually can show themselves to me.
Wow.
Sometimes they come in actually full form. Sometimes they come in like full form, but instead of like it could be shadowy or it could be like what's that static, that white noise staticky stuff from TV. Like filler as far as that is concerned. Sometimes they come in and they just are invisible, but you can kind of see like just kind of like a form. But they put pictures in my head. They make me taste and feel and smell things. Like there's one time I was like tasting donuts, cinnamon donuts, and like so they really make you feel things like you know, if you're feeling like someone was choking or something, they make you feel that. Or I was at another event and I was at the railroad yard. And all of a sudden my foot felt like it was like gone. And I'm like, oh, ow, my foot, like just, it's like almost like I'm missing my foot. And it was like somebody had lost their foot, I guess, you know, by the train in that one spot. So I guess apparently there's all these weird things. You get physical sensations, you know, you see things, hear things, smell things. It's just, you know, things just appear. It's like, it's everything. So yeah, you get words. And a lot of what I do though is I ask my spirit guides to kind of give me tarot cards if it's something that needs to have a little bit more detail to it. And so that's how I work with the cards a lot. So yeah, it's like it's really interesting how the different whatever messages come through. They use everything. They can make you feel, see, sense, everything. So it just depends upon what they're trying to make you feel and the message they're trying to relay.
Cool.
So yeah. I'm curious, Onae, have you ever been like walking along and you're like, say, allergic to, like you were saying, cinnamon, and all of a sudden you're like, man, I gotta eat cinnamon. So are you feeling like that spirit coming to you?
Yeah, they're making you. Yeah, they actually kind of come inside me sometimes too, and try to like they make me feel like as if they're in me. Sometimes it's really weird, and people kind of get freaked out at this part if they don't understand what channeling is. There's different forms of channeling. People have different words for it. But the church that I grew up in since I was 17, we channel. We are, you know, where we let a spirit, an energy kind of come in. And but where we do it in a safe environment. So when you go on investigations and you're out there and it's just like something just tries to jump in, it's like a little frightening for other people. But to see it, but it's like you can actually almost feel like you're being pushed aside inside your own body while this energy is coming in and kind of like trying to communicate through you. But it's not where you're being you know, possessed. It's just they're coming in, letting you feel and sense their story, whatever they're wanting you to hear and what they want to relay, and then they leave. So, but yeah, I've had people where it like gets them nervous and stuff. They don't know what the hell's going on. So, but was that the question? Like, did I answer?
That was.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I get lost too. You know me, like on my show, you watch my show, and I'm like, squirrel.
Yeah, it is entertaining. But amazingly, you keep it all together too. She's watching like 3 things, and then she's like, "Okay, so we're now here." And I'm like, "How do you keep track?"
I don't. It just my brain's all over the place. Because and you want to know another way, Cal, answering another question is how to kind of explain what happens with me. I mean, I'm sure other intuitive. I mean, everybody has the abilities. It's just who taps into it or who's a little bit more open to it. Because it's kind of like everybody can cook an egg, right? I hope. I don't know, maybe not. I can't really cook an egg anymore, but everyone can cook. but not everybody is like a Gordon Ramsay or an Emerald kind of thing. You know, they're like masters. So because they put the effort in. They have a passion for it, and then they put the effort in. So with my abilities, that's what happens also. It's like you put the effort in because one, you have to listen because otherwise they won't leave you alone. But another thing is how to explain it is, you know how when you're sitting outside at a cafe and you're like standing by like a big window and it's like kind of got like a reflective thing on it. So you can kind of see your reflection in it, but yet you can still kind of see through it. So you can see like the other people on the other side of the glass, but yet you're still seeing your reflection. And then you have the person like right in front of you, like as intangible, like right there. So I can see all of that with spirit world. It's like you see the person in front of you, the tangible thing in front of you. So I'm looking at you, talking to you, but yet I can see a reflection. So I'm getting a whole nother thing of everything behind me and everything around me. But then I'm also seeing through the glass and seeing all the people and energies through the glass too. So what they're doing and communicating. So, and that's kind of another way of being able to understand what I see. So that's kind of why I'm always like, yeah, I'll be looking at you, but then you'll see me like glance off or do this or that because I'm seeing and hearing the messages they're trying to give me while I'm still looking at you. So.
Cool. Can you switch that off when you want to, or is it always there bombarding you kind of thing?
It can be, but there's times when you just gotta like, you know what? I just need you to shut off. So, and that's, and it takes practice. But it does happen if you find yourself in a situation or a location where you're going to be talking to somebody or near somebody and they want to give that message to somebody, they will really bug you. And and then it's up to you to say, do I want to go to this person, tell them this message, or do I want to be, left alone? Like, do I, do it some other way, kind of thing. So you can tell them what you want and what you don't want. And if you want to share, you can. I don't like necessarily to walk up to people and just kind of blurt out messages to strangers. It's more of a respect thing for one, my own space and theirs. But if you're talking to somebody and you're getting something, you may ask them, are you open for a message? But yeah, no, you get, after a while, you kind of get like, I need my time. I need to turn off. The voices are too much sometimes. I need to kind of like switch off. Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, I got an interesting question that popped in my head as you were explaining all of that is like boundaries of like when you're going on a date, do you tell them do not engage me while I'm on this date, or how do you handle being on a date if you get bombarded and they're like, you got to tell them this?
Yeah, no, if we're talking to you, it'd be like you're talking to spirit as if you're talking to anybody. Like I'd be talking to you like, hey, Michael, going on a date, man. Don't call me. So yeah, like we can just talk to them like that. Like, no, I need my privacy. I need my time. Kind of like when you're sleeping at night. It's like, I don't sleep very well because they're constantly, but there's times when I'm kind of like, okay, guys, you've kept me up all week. I need sleep. And, then you'll start to get, more sleep, better sleep, whatever. Sometimes you need to take a little something to go help you sleep. But yeah, but it's just kind of like communicating with them. But a lot of the sleep work is like astral traveling and just getting messages downloaded and, but yeah, you can kind of put your boundaries up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Paula Rodriguez from Arizona, she's asking, do you have good suggestions on the best way to strengthen the abilities?
Listen to them and practice them. That's the best way to do it. You just have to, it's all about trust and working with that and trusting yourself that you are getting these messages. Let's see. But yeah, and you can just like kind of, you have people to help you practice. You have like guinea pigs, like, hey, you want to be my guinea pig? I'm trying to, work on this. And and people love it, so you're never going to not have a guinea pig to practice on. But yeah, you just constantly just work it and practice. Like it's a muscle. That's all it is. It's a muscle. You just keep strengthening it. You can, and it depends upon what you're wanting to learn and practice and strengthen. But mostly it's just about accepting it and saying, okay, I'm accepting this. Spirit, let's work together on this and bring it to me at my own speed so I can understand and not get overwhelmed. And a lot of it they just put you in situations where you will be able to practice. But mostly it's trust.
Okay. Kel is asking as well, as you mentioned having tarot cards, do you have a favorite set?
I have 2 favorite sets. And now I'm going to try to work on a third. But this is my favorite set right here. This is the Hanson Roberts. And I grew up with their Rider-Waite. I love the Radiant Rider-Waite. It is what I grew up with, but it's more vibrant. And so it's because I don't really know the meanings of all the cards. It's just because it's all about intuition and trusting the messages that come through. You just use them as a tool to just be able to tap into what you're getting, the messages. So yeah, it's this is the Hanson Roberts, which is basically very similar to the Rider-Waite, but it's more of a close up, kind of a zoomed in. The Rider-Waite is more of a widescreen show, and then this is more of a crop, the full. What is it? Full screen, widescreen. What is that? The full? Would this be the full? Zoomed in a little bit more.
Yes, full screen versus widescreen.
Yeah. So the Rider-Waite is more widescreen, and then this is more zoomed in, and that's but it's still the same symbols and all kind of very similar.
Cool.
And then my friend George, who I don't know if you guys seen it, if you're watching me, he's a friend of mine from elementary school, and we connected at the Paracon, the Warrens Paracon in the end of October, and I had a little class reunion. Because my friend Sue was there we went to Sacred Heart School, and George shows up from Florida with this tarot card deck for me as a gift. So, but yeah, it's kind of it's very similar in a sense. That's kind of a creepy looking one. Well, they're all kind of creepy looking. So, and then I do have, but I'm gonna practice this one just because it was a wonderful little gift. And then here's another one, Kel. You're gonna love it. I don't know. Were you guys there for my reading, the readings that I did with the I did them on Valentine's Day with my naughty deck. It was almost impossible to read because I couldn't keep I couldn't stop from blushing because it was really naughty. So
that sounds interesting though when you think about the premise of, honey, we're getting a reading today. Oh, really? Yeah, we're using the naughty deck.
Yeah. And it's really naughty. It is. I was like, oh my God. So I didn't realize how naughty they were because I had just broken them out right then. Basically, I was kind of oh yeah, I got a naughty deck, and then I'm let me use it for the readings, and it was really naughty. So it was just I'm trying to cover parts of the body with my nails, and I was like, oh my God, and positions that they're in. I'm but it was so fun.
So basically, it's like the Kama Sutra on tarot deck.
Yes, just X-rated. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So
that looks like he's going, where do I buy this deck?
No, I don't even remember the name of it. It's because I packed it up. So I'm trying to sell my house. So I packed up my whole office and pretty much all of my cards except for this deck right here. So I haven't been able to do it, but I'm hopefully going to have some either unpacked and move back into my house, or if it doesn't sell soon, or if I can move before February, I'll be doing that deck again for Valentine's Day. I'll do those readings. So oh my gosh, I wish I knew who you were. Who is this that's saying only you can intertwine the two and a? Yeah. It says Facebook user. Tell me who you are. So but and then someone says, hey Matt. So there you go, Matt.
Hey Facebook user.
Let me see. Let's see if I can see. Yes, while we're doing this, well, I'm looking to see, I'm looking at Facebook on my phone, the chat room to see who all is popped in. So Annie Waters is the one that says Onae, hey lady.
Hey, woman, how are you? I love. She has the greatest posts ever on Facebook. I love all her posts. She's got like this. She does this coffee one every morning, which is wonderful. And then she has these like fantasy. I mean, I think they're real, right? But they're like fantasy kitchens and bathrooms and castles and gardens, and yeah, love it. So.
So while looking at this, I've seen Paula has a interesting comment slash question for you. She says, "Thank you. I'm learning now myself. I don't hear things. I only see images of people and locations. So I'm trying to understand the difference between my imagination and reality."
Okay, well, you have to have a really good imagination to do what we do. And you have to, but the thing is, you have to trust that that's what you're seeing. Okay? Because that's where a lot of people kind of like get insecure. Is the thing is, you have to trust. I mean, because you're not going to like just imagine something. I mean, you could, but you're not going to like go to a location and all of a sudden something just appear in your head and you weren't thinking about it. It just appears and you're seeing it. So where like you're kind of like, otherwise you're talking yourself through imagining something, right? You're like, well, I'm in his, this graveyard and I'm standing next to this gravestone and it says 1794. And so now I'm going to imagine like, what could it look like? Like when I'm like traveling, I know this sounds weird, I keep bringing up Tombstone, but when I'm traveling to Tombstone, I'm like, I look out, and I'm like in the outside and I'm like looking at the scenery and stuff. And I'm imagining, because like, oh my God, I wonder what it'd be like, to be back in the day when they had, horse and carriage. And so you're just kind of like trying to picture it in your head. Yeah, that's imagination. If you're reading a book and something's appearing in your head, you're getting a picture. It's, that's your imagination. But if you go out and something appears to you and you're not even like, thinking about how it's going to appear or what you're expecting to see, that you have to trust is your abilities. So it's all about trusting yourself. But if you're like forcing yourself to think something, then and have it happen, then yeah, you just have to truly trust yourself that when something appears to you out of nowhere, boom, that's your ability.
Okay. Nancy is asking, and I'm guilty of this too, and I don't ever explain it myself, but she says, when you say people that have passed and other things, what are the other things?
Oh, fun. Other things can be yeah, they can be shadow figures, they can be other entities. It's just, yeah, it's there's other energies out there and other beings out there that you can kind of that like can communicate. And it's just basically like there's star people, like the Pleiadians and other star people. And you're kind of going, what the heck? But yeah, they exist. The jinn, okay, they're an energy of existence beyond our realm, and they come and visit. They could be known as the jinn, or some people call them shadow people, because I see shadow figures, but from it's different than seeing a spirit like a ghost. It's different. There are just other energies and entities out there that communicate. So if you have the ability to listen, and we all do, because you get that creepy little feeling of the little tingles up behind your back, in your neck. So what are star people? Like the Pleiadians, and there's other more advanced beings out there than us, and they can communicate that are like and then there's other, like there's the star people, there's the star children, and they're just kind of other like entities. I can't like get into basically in specifically which ones are which and how they come about to do what they do. All I know is that they do communicate, and they do it through telepathy. So
Wow.
usually, so and because I'm doing readings for people and I'm like getting communication, and you can either be talking to a spirit guide or someone's guardian angel, or you could be talking to like the Pleiadians tend to come with some people, like they're really connected with the Pleiadians. I'm not really sure too much about the Pleiadians. All I know is that I'm like talking about them and people are understanding what I'm saying, and I'm just like, okay. You just kind of believe, this is where you're trusting yourself. And it's like, I wouldn't even know this information except it's just coming through. But if it's resonating with somebody else, because they either did the studying about it, they read books on it, or they just feel connected, or they are beings from there themselves that have just manifested here. It's like there's so much out there that we can't understand completely. And as long as you just learn to accept and understand and trust, you're getting the messages and whatever this is, this communication, it's, as long as you're open to it and believing that you're okay, you're completely sane, even though you're feeling like you're not. That's what star people are, Roy. They're just like out there. They're beyond us. And they vibrate at a higher energy level. So, and I don't know, technology, I don't even know. I think some of them kind of can travel back in time, I guess, and visit us or something. So I don't know. It's all kind of, there's all kinds of stories out there, and it's whatever you believe, really, to be honest.
Yeah. There's a
Some of them
picture
are here now.
Kel took a while ago. There's a picture that Kel took a while ago on her phone, I think. And behind her, it looks like some kind of alien spirit type thing manifesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure soon after that, she lost her gift. She used to be quite psychic, I think. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe she can tell you about it in a bit when she comes back online, because I don't know too much about it, if I'm honest. But
ooh, there it is.
showing me.
Can I show it?
Yeah, I guess.
Are you sure, Cal? Can I show it?
Oh,
You
yeah.
look gorgeous in it. You really do. But yeah, there it is, right there. So yeah, and why do you feel you lost it? That's what my question is to you. Why do you feel you lost it? So for some reason, I messed up my camera somehow just by showing that picture.
It's a bit blurry. Yeah.
Is that weird?
Mm.
My camera's all wonky now because of that.
Wow.
Well, apparently that picture has quite a bit of energy. Look at that.
Wow.
So, but that way you can't see the lines right now, right? The wrinkles and lines.
There's a story that I've got as well, actually, that she's told me. I think Michael knows about it too. When she was conceived, apparently her mum spotted a UFO in the sky. They something to do with missed time or something. I don't know, but I know Kel. She's got a hunch that maybe she's, something happened on that UFO, and maybe she's slightly hybrid or something. I'm not sure. Maybe she can fill us in a bit more. But I know she's always had some kind of starseed stroke alien connection.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where people, like, you can be like, you could, who's to even know that we're not even like experiments from them, and part of them. So we don't know what's really out there. We just kind of have to have kind of a faith and belief in what we're getting. And I actually saw a spaceship myself, a UFO.
Wow.
And it's actually in the newspapers.
Wow.
So when I lived in Connecticut, New York and Connecticut area, it was New Fairfield, Connecticut, and this massive building was just above our heads. And it was like what you'd see like an all glass building, with little squares of glass, you can see them all. And you could see which rooms were lit up and some weren't. And then it started to it just hovered and rotated. And then when it rotated, it was a boomerang shaped building. It must have been like 10 stories high or something. It was huge. And it just vibrated, just like had this pulsation. And it barely moved the leaves on the trees. And it was like right above us.
Wow. And
then it started to move a little bit slower up the road. And then all of a sudden, boom, it was gone. And then you stood there. We all stood there, like kind of going, did it happen? It happened. And I'm not crazy because the whole town saw it. It's in the newspapers and everything. So, but it was really impressive. Instead of getting the camera, like my uncle was running in to get the camera, he went and got binoculars. So we don't have evidence. But
did you pick anything up when you saw it? Did you sense anything going on?
Me, at the time I was like 14 years old. So I was just freaking amazed that there was a building over my head. So, and then my mom's yelling, take me. So we're like, and then it took off. I'm like, Ma, you scared it. You know? So yeah, that's kind of like, we're all like in amazement. We're like, whoa, and awe. So it was just, and that's, evidence that, at least to me, I believe it was complete evidence that there are way more technically advanced people out there, or beings out there that are, more advanced than us. They're out there and they're observing us and shit. I mean, who, yeah. They probably said no then. Yeah, if you met my mom, yeah, they're like, oh geez, no, not her. Let's get out of here. You need to hide here, man.
Yeah. Paula Rodriguez from Sierra Vista. I saw she commented that earlier. So she's like 15 minutes, I think, from you.
Oh, wow.
She's saying that she's heard that before. Andrea Perron told me that she was with me, that I had an alien spirit being that is with me.
Wow.
Yeah, I met Andrea in person. Yeah, she was so sweet. She just kept hugging me. So I was like, do I look like I need hugs or something? It looks pathetic. I'm like, what's going on here? But she kept hugging me. And she has a great energy about her.
It's your energy.
Yeah, is it my energy?
I always enjoyed hugging you. I didn't think you just needed it.
You have the greatest hugs, though, Michael. Let me tell you.
Oh, thank you.
So, hey, Joanne, how are you?
So Yvonne is saying, aren't our bodies 99% same matter as stars are made of? That I don't know.
I don't know. I know we're like majorly water. I know that. And I guess like, I was raised Catholic, so it's like from dust to dust kind of thing. So, Yeah,
I do know we have matter that is the same as the stars. I just don't know if it's 99%.
I think that's more water, right? But I get more water comes from the sky, so I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I never really thought about it that much. All I know is that I have to like drink lots of water and go for walks to keep this, somewhat slimmer.
So Cal wrote in response to Matt saying, both my parent plus 36 people at the bar seen a UFO. Later, my parents seen it again and had missing time, and I was born 9 months later. My brothers always said I was an alien.
Yeah, yep. Especially if you like don't feel like you belong or something. It's just like, and you might even have like a different look about you. You might even have like a longer, slimmer neck or something, or like some kind of different, just like a different form and stuff. And just like have like just a sixth sense or another knowledge. Some people have, you can see it in their eyes or like their forehead. There seem to be, they like have a like more of a prominent head. Not like I'm saying you have a big head. I don't even know who you are. So, but you might have like a slimmer body, like just really slimmer and like a longer neck. I've seen people like that. So yeah. And then if you never feel like you belong, that's because you are one. You're probably not really from here, but you are meant to be here to help evolve the place, this place and people here. You're meant for that. You have a job to do here. So you're not meant to fit in, because if you fit in, then there's nothing, like when you're feeling like you're not of this world, it's because you're probably not. And you're here to help evolve people. You have a gift.
I remember watching the movie because I felt the same way, Kel, as you did. And I think it was an Amanda Bynes movie where she was in the UK meeting her family because she found out that her dad was royal or something. But the guy that she was with delivered this one line and like hit me. And I was like, and it stuck with me. And he goes, why do you want to fit in when you were born to stand out?
Yes. Yep. And you're put here for a reason, and it's to help others evolve and grow and help heal them and with whatever they're needing. So, you've got, and then that's your aura about you too. And you're here to give messages.
And it's interesting too, because like my mom did mediumship, and everybody was always looking at me and going, when is it going to be your time? And I'm like, why do you assume I'm going to, it's going to be my turn? And then sure enough, they were like, well, when you turn 16, that'll probably be when it activates. And it actually ended up being my 20s, but I did like 3 or 4 years of channeling. But it was like, I can't help wondering, it's like, what did people see that they knew before I knew? And then I was getting frustrated, like the timetables weren't lining up, and going, why can't I do it? You said I'd be doing it now. Where is it? Why?
Yep. It's in your own timetable, though. Maybe you have to have like experiences and eventually open up and learn. You're learning about yourself first, and then that way you can identify and acknowledge, other energies out there separate from yourself. But sometimes you just have life lessons and soul journeys to experience now before you can open up to other things too. So you can have an understanding of it. At least that's what I feel. I don't know.
No, that totally makes sense. And I'm just, Roy is saying, where do you get an application to join the Men in Black? Probably not want to join them. They may not be what you think they are.
And reincarnation, Roy. Yeah, I totally believe in that. I mean, there's like, I don't know if I'm gullible or what, but there's been so many stories out there of children just like kind of, being born, and like when they can get to a point where they can actually communicate and they're telling their lives, they're remembering their previous life that they just left or were just ripped out of and, brought here into this life, that they're in currently. And they will have whole stories, and they will even have evidence, like actual evidence that they would never have known before, and still be connected to people that are still alive from their previous life. So I totally believe in reincarnation.
I find that fascinating. It's like the whole Dalai Lama kind of thing, isn't it? They'll only choose the next Dalai Lama if they believe he's been reincarnated.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They'll go out and find a young boy.
Yep. There was even this one story that just was with a little kid from, I don't know if he was American or if he was Indian or something. He was from another country, and he had a whole life and names and everything. And it ended up being in Ireland, I think it was. Wow. It was somebody had a story. They had names and everything, and it was their whole life right there, and they were still existing. And the parent of the child, of the now child, went and actually reconnected this person to their previous life and family connections. And there's been stories about that. I don't know what show it was, but it was probably most likely on like Discover or History Channel or something, I imagine. But yeah, it was really, really, really interesting. So, and then one woman was reconnected with her children, and even remembered the church that she was married in and everything. So it was really interesting.
Yeah. I'm wondering, Onae, talking about that, the feeling of deja vu, do you feel that that's a past life memory coming into current time that we're remembering, and that's why we have knowledge of somewhere we've never been before?
Yes, there's my what I believe about deja vu is a couple different things. One, it's like, yes, that is like, okay, here we're having knowledge of our soul is reminding us that we've been here, or like you can totally feel and see everything that was like before it was what it looked like now. You can actually even almost feel like you've been there, and you can almost even feel like the clothing that you might have been wearing at the time. Then there's the deja vu, like, oh my gosh, deja vu, like as if it's a message from your spirit guides or angels saying, yes, you are on the right path. This is this is giving you a glimpse of yes, you're right here. You're meant to see this or feel this, experience this. So there's different things about deja vu that I have learned. So.
Wow.
So I'm wondering, when you do your readings, because the cards have access to everything, I mean, in the energy fields, how do you handle when you're looking at something and you're going, this is obviously a past life thing, and the people may not believe in past lives? So how do you deliver that message and help them understand that?
It will resonate with them. So if they're like drawn to, like, say, Native Americans, like something about this certain area or location, maybe they were in a previous life a part of that tribe. They might be drawn to something, or some people might be drawn to like Egypt, and just kind of like this drawing, and they're like, there's nothing Egyptian about them, but they have like memories or a feeling that they're just drawn. It's really strong to certain people. Again, like dreams. Like Roy is saying, dreams. It's like, yeah, you're dreaming a previous life. You're dreaming. Your subconscious is bringing forward your memories, your soul memories. So that's kind of how I try to, like, if you're connecting with it and you don't even know why you connect with it and you're really obsessed with it in a sense, then yes, I believe that can be signs of how and proof of a previous life that you've lived before.
Well, I know Kel's grandson was talking about something a couple of months ago. He kept coming out with all these names, and said he had 8, 9, 10 children or something, and then he fell off a ladder or something like that and died. I can't remember. I mean, I can't remember the story, to be honest with you. I know Kel did tell me, but she's convinced that her grandson had a past life.
Yeah, and then especially when they're young like that, it's not. People go with, oh, what a great imagination. No, we're actually remembering. But society has us kind of like make it into our imagination and like kind of squash it. So, but they could probably, if you like take down as much information and detail as you can, you're probably going to find a lot of evidence that will kind of bring that about, like to prove it to yourself and others.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. It can help with phobias. What can help with phobias? Oh, regression. Okay.
So I'm curious, Onae, what was like one reading, without giving details or anything, that made you sit there and go, one, wow, I can't believe I just delivered that type of message to someone, and really made you go, there is an afterlife. Has there ever been that moment for you?
I've always believed in an afterlife. I always believe there's something from beyond. I had no choice in the matter because I've been this way since I was little. So yeah, I've always had that ability, which kind of, makes you have to kind of believe and understand that. But readings, yeah, when I'm giving readings and people are just like, I don't know people. I don't even know their names half the time. And I'm giving detailed, information about a loved one that has crossed over or whatever information they're needing. And they're resonating with the information. And it's just like, yeah, it's proof to me that I don't even know who you are. I mean, I had a reading one time and they called themselves Twinkle Toes. So I'm like, okay, reading for Twinkle Toes. I'm just reading energy and whatever energy that's coming through for them in that message. So you believe that after hanging out with me? Yeah, I know, right? I have that effect on people.
Kel says that her grandson was a builder and had 10 kids taking him by strangers, and he got drunk and died.
Yeah. So he just kind of encouraged him to kind of try to remember that, so maybe he can have a little bit of closure on it. So he won't. And then the past life regression, Yvonne is saying here, yeah, Yvonne, that can definitely help with maybe that way he's not carrying over that tragedy that he experienced from that previous life. I mean, obviously not do it now as a child, but when he becomes like more grown up and can make these decisions on his own, to have maybe a past life regression done to help him process that, so he doesn't bring those traumas in here into this life. So that might help also.
Wow.
So who am I going to focus on?
Do what?
Who am I going to focus on? Come on, Michael. You got a psychic tarot reader here, and you're not even wanting to ask me for a reading?
Yeah.
I didn't want to take, I didn't want to feel like I was taking advantage and,
Never, Michael, not you. Matt, you.
I'm open to it.
Yeah, so am I. I think we both are, really.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm going to focus on Michael first.
Okay.
Hopefully I won't scare her.
All right, Michael, you ready? Here we go. All right, Michael, you drew a blue 7. That means contentment in your spirituality. So it means you are getting more comfortable and content and more trusting with your soul abilities and your spiritual abilities. So, and here celebration is happening here for you, hon. And does it look like here, even though sometimes things get you down, there's always, all you have to just make a decision, hon, to create balance in your life. So when you've got you have happy moments, but then there's times when you really get down on yourself. And all it's saying is that means when you get down, that means your life is getting out of balance, and you just have to make a decision to make it a little bit more balanced. But there is also a legal situation coming up here around a financial situation that you're going to be taking into consideration. And it is, when it comes to here also with that, there is a partnership of some sort and celebration here, which is going to be life-changing for you. Okay, so that could be a relationship happening here that's going to be life-changing for you. And it's saying here it's worth the investment and all the work that you want to put into it. It will. You're going to feel as if your ship has come in with this opportunity, and here you're going to feel as if you've known this person before. It's going to be a great, great connection. So don't overthink it. Don't stress about it. Just let it flow when it's time. Okay.
I love how you put that at the end, because everybody that knows me knows that's the very first thing I'm going to do is overthink it and stress on
it. So now this is for Matt. I'm going to focus on Matt.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, Matt. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, and Matt, you drew. Oh crap, I can't see it. It's this.
You drew the invisible card, Matt.
No, it's a green 3. So that represents financial situation. There's going to be probably 3 things that you're really focusing on separately that do help you in a financial situation. So I don't know if it's you have a main job and then you've got a couple hobbies or something that helped you bring in more tranquility as far as that is for you when it comes to a financial situation. It does look like here also that whatever it's you're not alone doing this. So it's almost like a partnership happening here. And also another 3, which also represents finances, is the 3 of Pentacles right here, which means you're going to get the recognition you're looking for. Also, within or around 3 months, something's coming up here for you. So don't stress. If you're not seeing it now or feeling it now, it's boom, it's going to be happening for you. Because as you're getting the recognition, and here's 3 again. So the number 3 is really prominent in your cards right now today, especially. You've got the green 3, you got the 3 of Pentacles, you got the 3 of Cups that just came up right now. So that's 3 seems to be a really big number for you and prominent right now. So things might be happening in the cycle of 3. So, and it does look like here, I do see you are overcoming an obstacle that's happening here for you also. But there is a major celebration happening here within around 3 months anyway. So it does look like here you have the ability. So when these things come at you and you're thinking you're juggling, that you can't have, you won't be able to make it happen, it is going to happen for you. You do have the ability to make things flow and work together. Okay, you have that ability. So just relax, don't stress, because you like to stress too. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Yes. It will work out. You'll find a rhythm. But it's saying here, you only think that you've got 3 opportunities or 3 ways to go in a certain situation. And it's saying here, don't stress over it, because there's actually something else that's going to be presenting itself out of thin air that is going to be answering everything for you that you didn't realize. You're oh my God, I'm stressing. How come I can do this, this, and this? I'm only seeing these opportunities or these 3 situations that it can go this way or that way. But something else is going to be presented to you that's going to help you get the recognition you're looking for, and you're going to move fast and furious towards it. Okay.
Cool.
And so, but don't stress yourself into actual illness. Okay.
Yeah.
So just kind of take it easy. Don't stress. Because this also tells me there's a lot of transformations and changes happening in your life. And sometimes that overwhelms you a little bit. But don't worry, because you also have the ability to balance things out. Okay. It just takes a little patience and less stress and just faith in yourself that it's going to work out. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome, hon. So I'm going to leave that with you. I hope that helps.
Yeah. Thanks, Onae.
It did. Thank you.
All right. So thank you so much for having me here, guys. Oh, we have all these new people coming in too. So, and Cal, do you want a reading too, Cal? I mean, you're just like in the background there.
She's in the background. Yeah, go on, give her a reading.
Yeah, I'll focus on Cal. That is gobsmacked. Really? His expression didn't change much, so I don't know how to read people.
I know, that's the one thing about Matt and I is like everyone looks at our faces and they're like, "Are you or are you not?" And it's like, "Oh no, we are."
Cal, you will. I haven't stopped shuffling yet, but you will be getting back your abilities. They're going to be forming in a different way without you even realizing it. And then all of a sudden, bam, they're going to be coming back even more powerful than they were before. So just letting you know, that's what they're showing me here. You are here on a mission, my dear. So just kind of have faith in what you're feeling and in what's resonating with you is your path. So it's saying here, a new love right there, a new love right there in your life. And it does look like here, it is with a person with a possible initial of an MNAT. And it does look like here with this person's very fair and balanced. And it does look like here, there's a major decision happening with the two of you. And it does look like here, it might be around the time frame of either Capricorn or Aries or Virgo time frame, not Aries, Taurus time frame, that these things will be happening. And it does look like here, the two of you at the same time are very, like, you both think the same. You're both very passionate. You might be a little bit more grounded in a sense, but at moments where like he grounds you and you ground him. But at the same time, you guys just have a way of making things balance out. And with this, it's saying here, news is coming in, my dear. That's going to take you both into smoother times. So I don't know what's happening here, but it's saying here, be firm with yourself. And at the same time, be firm with your communication because you have so many things that you've been going through that all these experiences, they are leaving you with, oh my gosh, all right. Leaving you with this knowledge and that things happen for a reason and you're dealing with these things for a reason and you're not feeling like you fit in for a reason because you're not supposed to fit in. You're having these experiences so you can grab that knowledge from these experiences and be able to help and guide people through them. So, and also help people evolve. And that's where your mission is, my dear. So I'm going to leave that with you, hon, and I hope that helps. And I got chills too, so it's going to be happening soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like we're all in for a ride.
What?
So it sounds like we're all in for a ride.
Yes, you are. But that's you're getting to the point now where it's like you're of course anytime. So yeah, you're getting to the age where you're like now confident in yourself. We all went through those bumps and bruises of awkwardness and just like trying to figure out who we are. And then it's like, then when you get to a certain age, it's like, oh, okay. Now, now I'm going to start, now it's time to like be on this mission or be here for my purpose and understand things and be more confident in who you are. So that means things can ebb and flow easier. So. But,
I'm kind of curious, Onae. Do you ever read for yourself?
I try so hard. And I even try it with my little pendulum. And it's where this thing lies to me all the time. So it works for me for when I'm reading other people. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, okay, great. So I get confirmation from other people that I'm doing a good job as far as, you know, my cards and my messages and pendulum and all that is getting. But then what's for me, the cards might as well be Chinese. I don't know. I look at it and I'm like, I take pictures of it and send it to my friends. I'm like, what does this look like to you? You know? It looks like I'm dying, you know? So yeah. But yeah, no, I really do try, but and my aunt used to tell me how to do it for myself, but before she passed away, it was like, she's like, Onae, yes, you can do this for yourself. And I'm like, it doesn't work for me. So, but the thing again, right there, I just said it doesn't work for me. I'm already putting that out there that I can't read my own cards for myself. But the thing is, when you're reading for yourself, Michael, it's like, oh yeah, like you could have this and be like, oh, what a great looking little reading. And then like some kind of crappy ass card will pop up like that. And you'll be like, yeah, well, I don't like that message. So I'm just gonna like reshuffle, and it's not saying what I want it to say. So I'll just keep reshuffling until it says what I want it to say. So, but yeah, so it's not so easy to do that. When I'm reading for other people, it's just like, I don't know what you're needing to hear. It just flows. So, and if your message is you know, like you have to have this message, I'm going to give it to you. And you have no choice about it. Like, you know, that's the way it is.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to, you know, wiggle around and sugarcoat it. I mean, I try sometimes because I can be a little harsh, but when it comes to myself, it's like, you know how things are. You're like, oh, well, I didn't really like that. I'll just kind of like push that on the side and reshuffle, and, you know, let me be happy with my reading or whatever. Or it looks too good. It can't be true.
Yeah.
So
one thing that I've learned with doing like kinesiology and stuff is to ask that you not be able to influence, control, or inhibit the answer. And then it's like all of a sudden the answers start changing and you're like, okay, this is now the truth.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I just give up. I try every day and it's just like, I just give up. So.
No, but I have to agree with George. Your hairstyle does rock.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So, but yeah, no, you just kind of have to like that when you aren't understanding or not getting the message, really, when you think about it, it's like when I get clients that come too often, you know, it's like they're afraid to make a decision without coming to me. It's like, you know, you need to experience life. You're here for a soul journey, and to learn and experience. And, you know, I can't keep giving you the map. You know, you have to make these decisions and trust your intuition that what is the right thing for you. And if it feels like it's like a mistake, it's not a mistake. It was just something you learned. It was a lesson that you had to learn because it's going to give you the knowledge that you need for something in the future. And so you just kind of have to like trust that, like, you're on this life path, this soul journey. And, you know, and so, yeah, I could read cards all day long for myself, but really I think what it does is, for me, is I'm supposed to be on the soul journey, and I'm not supposed to know. I'm supposed to experience. So.
I love that. And
Yes.
We are a few minutes over the hour. And I know you were mentioning you have an appointment coming up.
Yeah.
So where can people find you?
Can find me not right here, but on Facebook, Tarot by Onae, or my own personal page, Onae Shinn. But you can, where you can really always connect with me is onae.org. That's my website, onae.org. And you can make appointments there, or find me at Paracons. But yeah. So, which we're not doing a Paracon anytime soon, are we? I don't know what's out there. We traveled so much and did so much this like Halloween weekend or whatever, like September, October kind of thing. It was just like, now it's like time to like rest and like just stick home and be near family and stuff right now. So take a breather.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I just had a quick question that came in my mind, and I know you have to go, but I'm curious because you talked about doing readings like galleries. How do you handle galleries of like all the spirits like wanting to get their message out and being like, hey, one at a time?
Yeah. And that's basically what you have to do. That is, you just talk to them and you're like, one at a time. And like when I'm in a gallery, like if I'm having so much coming at me, because I get like this like nervousness about me, and that's just so much energy coming at you, and you have to be like, okay, you guys gotta work with my energy level here. You're driving me insane. And then you're like, okay, now I need to focus on one person. So if it's like somebody that's meant to be like way in the back, I'll actually get an arrow over their head, appear over their head, and I'll know that I need to talk to that person. If I'm getting a lot of like a name specifically, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting this name really clear, David. David is here. You know, David needs to communicate with you. Who is connected with a David? And then I'm like, and I'll tell people, like, if there's like 5 of you, don't worry about it. Just raise your hand, and then I'll give more detailed information as I go, and then we'll know which David I need to talk to that's connected to first. You know, okay, this David over here, he owned a red truck, and you know, and then oh, he listened to this kind of music, and okay, this is that David for you over here, and then I'll give the message there, and then I'll be like, okay, now the next David person that's connected to a David that lost somebody named David. Okay, I'm gonna get, you know, some more information now. Okay, this one had like, you know, this one drove a green, you know, rode a green bicycle or something, you know, whatever, and then that way it'll take the other 4 people that were there, and it helped me kind of I just saw a weird message come through. So
yeah, I'm not even gonna put that on the screen.
I know, like, what the, oh my, so threw me a squirrel. But that's how I work with like big groups like that. If something's like all like kind of combine like similar things, because spirit does bring a lot of people together that might have similar messages or something connected. Like I had 2 people in a gallery that had people that hung themselves, and I was just, they didn't even know each other, and they just had like right there sitting next to each other, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna still be connecting with your person because I'm still feeling this sensation. And the lady's like, no, I'm sitting next to her, but I also had somebody that you know had hung themselves. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like what are through doing experiences and doing these things, you learn a lot of what spirit does to help you kind of communicate with others and get messages. And they will put people together that won't even know each other, but will have certain experiences, similar ones, and connections. But typically if I'm like in a big room, like I sold out a theater once, and I was like stunned. I was like, what does he call it? Gobsmacked or Godsmacked? Is that what it? I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
and I just stood there on the stage going, whoa. And it's like, and then I realized I have to be doing something here. So, and what happens, I was like, give me something solid, please. And that's when they're like, arrow above the person's head. And then I knew to have to walk off stage and go talk to that person and give them their message. So that's kind of like, spirit works with you in different ways that you know, when you ask them to, they will give you what you need to communicate the messages.
And speaking of galleries, don't you have a podcast show?
Right? Do I have a podcast show?
I noticed on your Where to Find Me, you never mentioned your show.
It's my Tuesday show, right? Are you talking about that one where I do free readings?
As far as I know, you have 1 or 2 shows.
I don't, yeah.
She's everywhere, folks.
I do so much sometimes that I forget. But yeah, I'm on Tuesdays on Facebook. And I think even YouTube. I think I have a YouTube channel. And then I just kind of, Tuesdays for sure. So I know that. But yeah, you just kind of, you know, I'm Googleable. I was like, whoa, I didn't realize like I was out there for Google to like know me. And yeah, I'm just like, so if you know of an event or something that I'm doing, remind me. Yeah, no, I don't know. Do I have 2 shows, Michael? I don't know. I think I only have the Tuesday run right now. Because I was on a different radio, or not radio, the digital, or I don't know what those things are. I was on WLTK, and that was on Tuesday also, but they shut down. So I'm just on Facebook.
Okay. And if I remember right, that's your time, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central on Facebook.
It's 8 p.m. Right? Eastern Standard Time, so that would be 6 o'clock my time right now. Yeah, because I'm lined up with Mountain Standard Time. Because Tucson is like really weird for me with that whole time difference that you guys do. And we don't change our clocks, so sometimes I'm lined up with Pacific time, and then sometimes I'm lined up with Mountain time. So I just kind of just show up.
I'm laughing because Kel and Matt, being in the UK, they change for daylight savings a week before we do. So if we have a show, we have to account for that hour difference and being like, okay, is it now temporarily 7 hours or 6 hours? Where are we going?
Yep.
Extra hour, I think, for now, until you change. So it is 7 hours, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're back to the 6 hours finally. So it's easier.
That's cool. So yeah, no, it's the time difference is just it's insane. It's too confusing. You've been late for your own show.
Yes.
I can see that. Yeah.
I did a pre-recorded episode on another show with a gentleman from Australia, and I thought I had done the correct time difference.
Mm-hmm.
And he messages me and says, "Are we doing this or not?" And I said, "What do you mean? I still have like 45 minutes." He goes, "I've been waiting for a half an hour." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I calculated the time that wrong." Whoops.
Yep, that happens. It happens a lot too, especially around the time frame different. Like when they're doing the switching, it happens a lot because I'm like, yeah, I've noticed that, especially doing other people's shows and stuff like that and guests on other people's shows. So, but it's been a pleasure and an honor. It was really nice meeting you, Matt.
Nice
Kel,
meeting you.
in person at an event. And Michael, thank you so much, hon, for inviting me on, the two of you, onto your show. I really appreciate it. I do have to go because I have a client right now.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much, hon. I will see you later. Keep in touch. All righty. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know how to get out of
here. Okay. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and everyone in the chat room for asking the great questions and participating. And Nancy says there is no daylight savings time in Arizona, which is even more of a headache. So, Matt, would you like to send us out?
Yeah, well, I'd just like to thank everybody for watching, and once again, everyone that's been in the chat. And join us again, I believe, in 2 weeks for another episode.
No, next week.
It's next week, is it? And who's on the show, Michael? Who is it? Do we know?
Les Durant.
Oh, right. Okay. Brilliant. So there we go. Join us next week for another show. And thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. And let's see. There. Thank you for joining us at Paranormal Versus. Hope to see you on our next episode.